So, I made a video some months ago about the state of DBD and how its toxicity came to get so bad, and I made some points that a lot of people felt very strongly about. Whether that be about how it feels to play Survivor and Killer, the issue around tunneling, or anything else in the game that people often talk about, I made some points that currently I feel pretty differently about. That's because, as a Survivor main, I've finally taken a serious step to the dark side, and let me tell you, so much of my perspective has changed, it's not even funny. Hey, it's Nana, and welcome to my tomb if you haven't been here already. School has officially winded down, I'm getting ready for graduation, which may or may not have passed by the time this video has come out, and I had way more free time to dedicate to something fun. So you may be asking yourself why the hell I decided playing more DBD was a good idea. Like, wow, I graduated cum laude and earned my bachelor's after 4 years of hard work. This is an amazing time to hop on Dead by Daylight. Trust me, I've only been playing so much because I have a new reason to play, that being me playing Killer. I never really found Killer interesting at all, and I've been playing Dead by Daylight semi-consistently since mid to late 2022, with some long breaks here and there. If I were to really start playing Killer, it would have been way back then, so why now? During the Blood Moon event, I really wanted an Aurella skin and I needed to play Killer to get it. But I enjoyed it so much that I played way more, and found out so many things now that I had a better perspective than I originally did. So, I'm going to tell you all the things I've learned or solidified my opinion on, how I feel about the game now, and maybe complain a little. I put down Tomodachi for this, so you better enjoy it. Starting off, survivors are the biggest whiners. About everything. I mean, truthfully, I knew that already, but shit, I got more perspective than I needed to after playing Killer. I've talked my shit about Killer mains, so it's Survivor mains' turn now. Toxicity in this game is a given, and I'm never really shocked whenever I see it because I know it's bound to appear eventually. It's really only a matter of time, but I gotta say, I thought it was an exaggeration that survivors were legit getting mad that killers were actually trying to win, until I started playing Killer. Thought that shit was uncommon. It's not. I guess because I'm not a crybaby bitch, I expected other players to be the same way. My mistake. There are so many different unwritten rules that killers are expected to follow to make the game more enjoyable for survivors, which isn't the point of the game. Talking about boring builds and killers lacking a personality and not letting survivors have fun, as if the game isn't meant to be played. No one owes you fun or personality. Is it cute when a killer breaks character for a moment? Yes, and I do it all the time when I'm not stressing that I'll lose. But the game is very tense a lot of the time, and any amount of dull moments had for the sake of having fun can cause you to lose. Being nice can cause you to lose. Are you gonna give me free kills when it's clear I lost the game? Yeah, probably not. Survivors really expect you to give them infinite chances to escape, and to not use the perks or abilities at your disposal. If using pain res and barbecue and chili makes me boring, well, I couldn't give less of a fuck. Is NOED a clutch perk? Yes, and I don't use it anymore, but when I started playing Killer, I'd be stupid not to have it on. I will be taking full advantage of every opportunity at my disposal. When I'm playing Survivor, I don't expect killers to play with me in mind. I mean, don't play like a dick, of course, but you should want to win. I know everyone's like, it's all about having fun. Whole time they don't even believe that. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I want to win. If having fun was my priority, I would not be playing Dead by Daylight. Granted, if I've already won, got a 3k or something, and let's say I close the hatch right in front of the last survivor, I'll feel tempted to let them go. If a survivor is being cute after I massacred their entire team, I'll most likely let them go. I'm not always in the mood though, and I can't fault other killers for wanting to win. Wanting to win? In a video game? Can't imagine. If survivors are trying to do their objectives, aka pumping out gens and annoying the killer, why can't killers do the same? It's like so many rules exist for Killer that don't exist for Survivor, at least not in the same way. For instance, a lot of Survivor mains will complain about tunneling when a lot of them don't even know what tunneling is. I'll go into detail about what I now feel about tunneling later, but one thing about it has not changed, that being that survivors hate it. If anyone's confused, tunneling is not a killer hooking you, running across the map to chase someone else, then eventually coming back to you and chasing you again, especially when you've had time to heal. I remember going against a team that was obviously in comms together and got a 4-man out, then accused me of tunneling. First of all, I didn't. Second, if I did, do you really think I would have ended the game with 0 kills? Be so fucking for real. That shit had me so hot, cause maybe if I tunneled I would have actually won. I know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it doesn't matter now. Every game is progress, but fuck is that annoying. Tunneling, or anything that looks like it, is equivalent to kicking a one-legged puppy, I guess. Like, I'm going to chase anyone in my line of sight. I hesitate when it's a freshly unhooked survivor because I feel bad, but an easy down is an easy down. A lot of them want to stick around me and think I won't immediately down them. Listen, if you don't have DS, get away from me so I can chase another survivor. You can't tunnel even if a survivor gets right in front of you and doesn't want to leave. You get accused of camping because survivors stupidly decide to unhook when you're standing 5 feet away. If you use your perks the way they're designed, you're a sweat. If you don't, you're bad at the game. If you win, the game is killer-sided. If you don't, it's a skill issue on your part and they'll let you know it too. Shit, I've been seeing survivors DC a lot more when they don't get what they want. Nothing like fucking over the rest of your team because you can't last more than 10 seconds in chase. It's like they genuinely want to sit on gens all game. The implications of not having to get off of a gen are great and all, but the whole appeal of playing Survivor is getting chased. Why would I want to sit on a gen? So I can press one button occasionally? So I can sit and look pretty with my $15 cosmetics? This is not Dress to Impress 2.0, you know, but to be fair, I can see the reason why some people might conflate the two. Both games are about putting on your best fits just to get yelled at by people who are emotionally immature. Don't get me wrong. Killer mains absolutely have an ego problem. That's something I've understood for almost 4 years, but with the sheer number of survivors there are, it's so much more common with them that it's not even funny. I almost never see killers engaging in endgame chats when I'm Survivor, even when they took a pretty nasty L, but it's like every other game as killer where I see survivors bitching in endgame chat regardless if they win or lose. Like dude, how are you a sore winner? That shit makes no goddamn sense. People really be hopping on the game mad as hell. Please go do something else. Anyway, Survivor somehow getting more annoying after I picked up Killer should have been expected, but that's boring. I can rant about that till I'm blue in the face and it'd be nothing new. But what is new is how I feel about the overall Killer experience as a Survivor main. So let's get into that. Tunneling could be kinda lazy, and from what I've seen sometimes, indicative of a skill issue. My mind hasn't really changed on that. But it's a necessary evil and one I'm not ashamed to engage in. Granted, I don't really ever have to, mostly because I'm not in a position to do so feasibly, but a lot of the time it's stupid not to. Especially when a freshly unhooked survivor runs right into me. Like I'm gonna turn my happy ass around and chase someone else who's fully healed and probably halfway across the map already. I don't think so. Why blame killers for tunneling when gen speeds are out of control? There's barely any counterplay to that isn't tunneling or slugging. Tunneling and slugging equals necessary pressure that probably wouldn't exist without it. I also don't think tunneling is toxic, you know, inherently. I've run into a few killers who tunnel, not for pressure, but because of really petty and or stupid reasons. Whether it be because I ran them for a long time, I stunned them when they least expected it, or I made a trans character, they will tunnel for little to no reason. It'll make me feel insane and like I'm manufacturing shit out of nothing until my theories are validated in endgame chat. Again, these experiences are a bit of a rarity, so most of the time I'll see killers tunneling either because it helps them apply pressure when they desperately need to, or because they're simply allowed to. A lot of the time, tunneling is the optimal way to play. Now, these might seem like some contradictory statements, so I'll break it down. Do I think tunneling means a killer sucks? Sometimes, not all the time. Based on the state of DBD right now, tunneling when gens are flying is not the craziest thing ever, doesn't necessarily mean you're bad. Is it the optimal way to play a lot of the time? Yeah, it is. Is it lazy? Sure, it definitely can be. Is it toxic? Not all the time. Like I said, it's a necessary evil. Shit, even the evil part is kinda debatable when I see a lot of survivors running DS anyway. The conversation around tunneling is more complicated than it needs to be, if I'm being for real. It's very annoying to deal with as Survivor, but I'm willing to bet that me gen rushing and using all my time efficiently is just as annoying to killers as well. Speaking of, I don't see tunneling as much different from gen rushing. Like I said, is tunneling lazy and or an indicator that you're bad? Maybe, but why not do it? It's not just a matter of getting better at playing killer when one chase leads to 2 gens being done and another at 35%. Is managing your time as killer important? Yes, but acting as if playing like you'll instantly lose if you don't gen rush and use a million-second chance perks won't make the killer feel a bit pressured to apply the same stress to you is dumb. Now that I have more perspective, whenever I'm playing Survivor, I will expect a killer to tunnel if the game is going poorly for them. I really can't get mad at them for doing the only thing they can to secure a kill. Like, they needed to have tunneled yesterday, so I won't be surprised or upset if they do it at all. It's a video game, people want to win. The conversation around tunneling is odd but very expected, and I'm glad to have a more nuanced take on it now. Moving on. Playing killer is exhausting. Again, this is something I already knew, or thought I knew, because experiencing it firsthand is some of the most humbling shit imaginable. There's never a dull moment when you're playing killer, and when there is, it's absolutely dreadful. The implications of not being in chase and not being able to find survivors is terrible. Silence is terrible. Playing killer, in my opinion, requires more skill than survivor, and so much more split-second thinking and surveillance that I sometimes don't have the energy for. You know, I never liked being it in a game of tag. I guess things never change. Deciding which perks to put on which killer and then having to figure out how to use them effectively is hard. You only have 4. The survivors you're going against have a combination of 16, most likely with some overlap, and having to remember which survivor has which perks and how to determine if they're a risk or not is exhausting. Trying to decide what to do, such as picking up or slugging, in such a short amount of time is difficult, as you can be punished for doing either. Choosing between monitoring gens and prioritizing chase can be a real issue too. I'm almost always in chase, and if I'm not, I'm kicking gens, and if not that, I'm breaking pallets and doors, and if not that, I'm quaking in my boots. There's always something I need to do, something I'm overlooking, something I can improve at. Always something. And I'll be real, I never know what to do. Put me in a situation that requires even the least bit of critical thinking or consideration in a killer game, and it's over. Also, I've always noticed this before when I played Survivor, but it's even more telling as killer. Gens are flying. I feel like if I don't insta down a Survivor, I might as well quit because 3 exhales means 2 gens got done. I'm in situations like that every other game it seems. And the combination of shame, frustration, and despair is unlike anything else. And honestly, I kinda love it. It makes me play my roles so much more aggressively, it's actually insane. Playing killer feels so weird, which is kind of my next point. You would think that the euphoric highs and the soul-crushing lows would be the same between survivor and killer, but it's not. For example, I feel dread loading into a killer match, but that feeling never lasts long. I feel fine loading into a survivor match, and that feeling never lasts long. It's a weird parallel that I don't fully understand. Losing a match as killer feels worse, since it always feels like it's entirely your fault, but winning feels so much better. Playing Survivor is supposed to make you feel weak, even if you are playing to the best of your ability, and it feels good to win, but not nearly as satisfying. Playing Survivor at times feels mindless, and like I'm just on gens for half of it, chasing, unhooking, and healing for the other half. This is especially the case in 2v8. If I'm playing killer, it feels like a humiliation ritual. If I'm playing Survivor, it feels like I'm in a BDSM scene and I'm making my partner, who I secretly hate, eat concrete. Do I think that playing killer is more fun than playing Survivor? Not exactly, but it's definitely more entertaining. Well, up until a certain point anyway. There's just something about the gameplay of killer that I love. First person view maybe? It just feels so good, you know? It feels satisfying to swing and hit a survivor. It feels great to mind game and win. It's fun when my power actually works, like 20% of the time, but who's really keeping track? Every time I get a hit or a grab with Tinkerer, I start giggling like a maniac. Every time I finally down a survivor, I feel like that chocolate guy from SpongeBob. That shit really be frying me. I love feeling evil. I actually like how much there is to do, because even if it's overwhelming, I'm only depending on myself and no one else. I pick up the slack. I take accountability. Like I said, if I'm playing Survivor, it feels a little too easy, especially when I'm in a Swift. Playing Killer is a true test of skill and patience, neither of which I have, but I try anyway. I wouldn't say it's more fun, that's not the right word. It's more frustrating and a lot less hand-holdy, that's for sure, but there's definitely a lot more going on. I kinda like that more than the monotony I feel when playing Survivor a lot of the time. It's an experience, let's just say that. You probably know what I mean. Either way, on to the last thing I learned, that being, finding out who you're going to main is part of the experience. Survivors are all more or less the same. They move almost the exact same, and outside of the perks they offer, which can be used on all survivors, they're roughly the same. I mean, these are the characters I main. See a resemblance? It's easy to find a survivor you connect with, but with Killer, it's a bit harder than that. It takes a while to find the one you'll love, because trust me, playing games with a killer you find insufferable or can't use efficiently is never worth it. As a survivor main, it never even crossed my mind. It took me a bit to find out I loved Artist and Houndmaster, like the other 3 people living on planet Earth. It wasn't even my idea to main them either. I just wanted to play a female killer, preferably one that punished survivors for looping a particular way. And by looping a particular way, I mean looping like a fucking idiot. Oh, and good cosmetics were a plus too. I remember what I said earlier, okay? I love the cosmetics too. Anyway, Huntress wasn't cutting it despite my good games with her, and I'm not good enough for Nurse just yet, so my boyfriend suggested I play Artist, then bought me Houndmaster as a gift. Despite the initial difficulty, I fell in love immediately. It's funny how the killers you overlook the most, either because you're intimidated by their power or afraid of how buggy they are, end up being the ones. Houndmaster is pretty strong, and I think her power is super unique despite how dumb her puppy can be sometimes. Artist is the same way. Maybe requires a bit more skill for someone like me, but ideal because I really like how her power works. Aiming and hitting my target in this game will always be an amazing feeling. And it's all in the little things as well. I absolutely love Houndmaster's accent and her adoration for Snug. I love Artist's power and how she sounds when she whiffs or gets stunned. It's crazy how a killer or two can convince you to keep playing the role, even when it feels kinda rough. Oh, and if anyone has any other killers they think I'd like, or any tips on Houndmaster or Artist, let me know in the comments or my Discord server. I would love to hear it. Either way, Dead by Daylight is a game with a lot going on, even more so when you play the role of both survivor and killer, as I've come to find out. Like I said, I'm basically brand new to killer, so what I say isn't law or anything, just things I've learned. Anyway, I always feel nervous asking people to comment their thoughts in DBD videos, considering my last one had people commenting stuff about my gender, or kept assuming my political position as if that means anything. I maybe should have expected that. And to be fair, not the worst thing that's ever been said to me before. Just keep it relevant if you mean to criticize. I'll gladly take constructive criticism. With that said, comment your thoughts below, like and sub, and join my Discord server if you'd like. We play DBD and always have room for someone to join customs and or swifts. Feel free to join. As always, this is Nana, and I'll catch you later. Peace!
Hey,